Also, thank you to Shopify for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Call Me Chris, you can call me Chris, and today you are... I forgot my dog was in here, it scared me. Kevin, come here. Good boy. Give them a compliment. Your teeth look really nice. Look, he's missing a tooth. Wait, Kev, look. He's missing one of his fangs. Oh, it got a little rotten, didn't it? It did get a little rotten. He cracked it. He cracked it and had to come out, poor guy. Poor guy. Don't be alarmed by the thumbnail or title. This is a story time, if you will. I haven't done one of these before, and I thought it'd be interesting. I don't really let you guys into my life too much, I feel like, and I want to open up about my stupidity as a child, and maybe it'll be a life lesson for you. I don't know, probably not, but we'll see. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I should preface by saying in this story, I was around 12 years old, almost 13, okay? And a little background on me as a child and my family life. I was a very sad kid. I was a sad, melancholic child. I was like always listening to moody, sad, just heart-wrenching music because that's how I felt like my life was. Classic middle child shit, okay? I was like, woe is me, the world is against me. But don't get me wrong, I was also like a very happy and funny child too. Like anything I could do to make people laugh brought me so much joy. And that's like the only thing that brought me joy. Like I have countless pictures of me like dressing up for my family or just being a weird kid. And yeah, like I had a great childhood. When I got into those preteens, man, it hit me like a rock. I had a stepdad that I just loved to beef with all the time, even though he was just being like a great dad all the time, but I'm like, you're not my dad, but he really was my dad. And then I had my other dad, my biological dad, that I just, it's a whole thing, okay? Daddy issues, possibly, but I have great relationships with them both now. And then I butt heads with my mom all the time. I felt like I was the only person in the world, which I'm sure a lot of people feel like, especially when you're going through puberty at that time. Anyway, this is all prefacing to say that I ran away. I ran away as a kid, okay? Pretty traumatic, to be honest. Little funny also. Honestly, now, mostly funny and a little traumatic. I'll say it like that. At the time, I didn't even understand what happened, but it was just ridiculous. And this is just, if there's 12 or 13 or 14-year-olds or whatever, whoever watching this that is thinking about running away, don't. All right, just don't do it, okay? There's other options. And for me, it would have just been to not run away and, you know, talk to someone, but I chose run away, and here's a story of me doing so, okay? Man, I was one crazy kid, but you know one thing that I always wanted to be when I was older is an entrepreneur. And what's helped me in becoming an entrepreneur is Shopify. Thank you to Shopify for sponsoring this video. For those of you who don't know, Shopify is a commerce platform that allows you to start, grow, and manage a business. And from day one of me starting my business, Auto by Chris, I have used Shopify and it has grown with me, and it has been the best tool in helping me be the entrepreneur that I want to be. Whatever business you want to start, Shopify is there to help, because they quite literally work with the world's biggest brands and everything in between. And what I love about Shopify is that they reduce the complexity of starting a business with a simple drag and drop store editor, easy to use marketing tools, and a back office that oversees all of your operations. And my personal favorite features on Shopify are the live view, which allows you to see details of where and how your customers shop, so I can really learn and apply how I use Shopify myself. And I really enjoy Shopify Magic. It's basically a suite of AI tools that can help you write better product descriptions, improve product images, and elevate email effectiveness. Because I'm not the best at any of those things, so it's really helpful to have an AI tool to kind of help me curate those designs and descriptions. And make sure to click my link, shopify.com/callmechris, and get your free trial on Shopify today. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen. Thank you again to Shopify for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to it. So I was 12 years old, okay? It was after school. I was hanging out at home home. I believe a couple of my siblings were home. I am one of 5 children, and I am second oldest. So I was just in that mixture where the youngest really got, like, you know, a lot of the younger attention, and then my older sister, good at everything. Like, anything she touched turned to gold. Like, she had her flaws and stuff she wasn't good at, she'll say, but literally she was like the queen of everything. And then I was just like trying to catch up to everything that she did and trying to be as good as her. Anyway, so there was a couple of them home. I think my little sister was home, and maybe my little brother, and I think my sister was off maybe playing sports or something. I don't know. Being amazing at something. I don't know. But anyway, I was in my room listening to, I believe, Bon Jovi at the time. I was really into Bon Jovi for a while there, and I was just feeling like I was hyping myself up, and I was hyping myself up for The Great Runaway, something I have thought about for, I'd say weeks, but honestly it's probably days. Or something like I always dreamed of, and I also always thought that I could be really independent as a child. I thought I could never get hurt and nothing could ever happen to me. And this is after I've already broken like 5 bones at this point. But anyway, I got my purse and I needed to pack. Okay, so I packed the following. All right, I had to get snacks. I needed rations for my journey. So I packed trail mix, assorted nuts, and some M&Ms in there. And I also packed Welch's fruit snacks. And I quite literally only packed those 2 things, but I packed like 5 of each. I thought this would get me through a couple weeks. I thought I could survive off of Welch's and trail mix. Turns out you can't. Okay. Next, I needed protection. So I packed an old, dusty, rusty, dull pocket knife that was my dad's, like a little, like a one that comes in your medical kit that he's had in his truck for like 10 years maybe. Packed that just in case. Also had those little cute little scissors on them. And I was like, I don't know if I need to like cut some cords or something, or I have no idea. And then I also packed, I believe it was $40, and I thought this would last me the month because I didn't know how money worked. And then I also packed my trusty first cell phone, which was a Samsung gray and green slide phone, those ones where you get the full keyboard on it. Everybody had those razors that I really wanted one of those razor flip phones, but I wonder what it looks like. I gotta look it up right now. One sec. Oh my god. It's bringing back so many memories. Anyway, packed my phone, fully charged, didn't bring charger. I don't know why I distinctly remember that. Didn't bring the charger, okay? And also, around this time of year, it was, I believe it was like winter going into spring, which in Canada is still really fucking cold. But all I wore were just pants, a t-shirt, a hoodie, tied up around my waist, and I also was wearing my trusty, dusty, blue, I don't even know what brand they were, but they had the zip up in the middle. They had like, you tie the laces and then you zip it up. I had no style back then, and I thought that was gonna be all right. And also, it was supposed to rain that night, and I didn't know because I didn't have the weather app on my phone because I had a green slide-up phone. And now I needed to choose a mode of transportation, which was my father's bicycle. Sorry, Dad. I stole my father's bicycle. It was way too big for me. I didn't like fit on it, didn't know how to adjust the seat. So I was just like reaching out like this, and I was biking for hours. But anyway, oh, also, sorry, had my MP3 player. This is very, very important. I had my MP3 player, little blue, it looked like a flash drive, and I had the song Runaway by Bon Jovi ready to play in my playlist as soon as I took off on that bike. And if you haven't heard Runaway, I'll get them to play it right here, a little clip of it. Anyway, so I was getting fired up. I was getting fired up to Runaway. I was feeling good. I was feeling like I'll never see this place again. Didn't say bye to anyone. Obviously, I would blow my cover, right? Put my headphones in, attached to my little thing, put my little MP3 player in my shirt, phone in my pocket, purse around me, which also had holes in it, by the way, and I got on my bike and I just went. Did I know where I was going? No. I had no idea. I had no plan, okay? I just thought I'd figure it out because I was smarter than everyone, I thought. So, I'm biking on a bike I don't fit on and I don't know where I'm going, okay? And I lived in a suburb at the time, kind of near a park, and you could cut through the park to like get to the other side of town. And I hadn't been to the other side of town that much. All I knew was that crime was rampant there, and I decided that that's where I deserve to be, that's where I should be, and that's where my parents probably wouldn't look because they wouldn't assume that I'd be badass enough to go to the bad side of town, you know? Horrible idea, by the way. I biked about, I think it was about 7 miles, 7 or 8 miles, okay? And I also had no biking experience either. And I was biking on the roads. It was bad. I almost got hit a couple times. And I left around 4 p.m. Okay, that's important. I left around 4 p.m. It was after school. Didn't skip school or anything. So I was biking, biked about 7 or 8 miles to we have a local pool, a local indoor pool. We have a couple of them, and I went to the one that was really far away on the other side of town because I knew I was like biking and I started to get hungry, and I knew that they sold French fries and I liked those French fries. So I was like, first stop, I guess. So I went into the pool place and got some French fries, ketchup, and a drink. $10 down the drain, 1/4 of my rationed money gone. And I was like, oh shit, that's what much stuff costs. But I was like, I'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm just like sitting there eating my French fries, contemplating how my life's gonna be from now on. I was like, well, this is it, I guess. This is me now. I got my bike, my French fries, you know, my Welch's and trail mix and stuff. And it was starting to get dark outside because it gets dark like pretty early until you get into like late spring and summer. So I was like, I need to find a place to sleep because I didn't really think about that. I didn't really think about having to sleep out on the streets. So I was like, oh shit, I need to find a place. And then I had that epiphany that I'm like, oh, I'm in the worst part of town I could actually be in, and I'm scared. So I got on my bike after spending like half an hour eating those French fries, contemplating my whole life. And then I biked to my side of town again. I got like almost there, and I found a park at an elementary school. And I was like, this seems like a good idea. And also at this point, it started to dump rain, okay? So it's torrential downpour. I got to this park, and there's like where the slides go up, and that little tower thing you can go in before you go down the slides. I was like, I'm gonna sleep in there. I got in there, smells like piss and vomit, and I was like, this was a horrible idea, but I gotta stick to it. How embarrassing if I run away and then just call my parents a couple hours after. At this point, it's around 6:30, almost 7 p.m. and my phone is also blowing the fuck up. My parents, my siblings who have a phone, just my sister, and everybody I knew were like trying to contact me. And I was such an idiot, such an asshole for not answering them and letting them be scared. I just feel so terrible for how awful of a kid I was. Oh, it's awful. Anyway, I'm in the playground, I'm sleeping. I'm setting up camp for the night. My purse is my pillow, my jacket is my blanket. It's cold, I'm freezing and wet. It's terrible. I'm in there for about 30 minutes or so, maybe 45 minutes. And then I hear a voice that's coming towards the park. It's now pitch black outside. I'm terrified. I'm 12 years old. I'm like, oh no, like I need to get out immediately. So there was a little pole like down the side of it, like there were slides and a pole. So I got onto the pole, and I just like trying to go down really really quietly. So I went down, and then I picked up my bike that was still there, thankfully, and then I just ran with my bike just onto the road and just booked it. And I think it was probably just teenagers that were coming to hang out at the park, because at some point I heard 2 voices and it sounded like almost like kids or like people a little bit older than me. So wasn't in any danger there yet. All right, so now I'm like right freaked out though, because at this point I was like, oh my god, I almost died, like somebody almost tried to kill me. And my mom made me watch every single true crime thing as a child, like through to CSI, to Criminal Minds, to Dateline, to freaking anything true crime she watched, and I watched with her because I liked it as much as her. But that means I should have known the dangers that would be out in the world as a 12-year-old girl, you know? But it didn't hit me until dangerous stuff actually started to happen. So I'm biking. It is the middle of the night. It is now probably around like 8:39 and I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know what to do. So I literally just biked. I was like, I can't stop. If I stop, something bad's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna keep biking. My phone is ding, 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 like going off like crazy in my back pocket. I'm not even looking at the messages because I'm like so embarrassed at this point. I've been gone from home for like only 4 hours now. And I was just trying to think of ways to make the situation okay. So I decided that I remembered that one of my friends' houses wasn't that far. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to my friend's house. His mom's chill, so maybe like they'll be chill with it and just let me like crash and just not tell my parents. Which turns out was true, which is also alarming, by the way, because I was 12. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna bike there. And it was about like a 10-minute bike from where I last was. So I was biking there and I was on a main road, and then there was a main road here and a main road here. And then there was like a connecting road, but the connecting road had no houses. It was just forest on that side and bush, and then forest on this side and bush. And it was probably about like 100 meters or so. So I was like, okay, that's really creepy. And like there's one street light, really dark, very scary. Looking back, I'm like, why didn't I just go down like the middle of the road? Because anyway, so I was going down the sidewalk there and I was going like kind of slow because I couldn't really see the end. It was really dark, so I was going like, I don't even know, not fast. I was going pretty slow. I was about halfway to the other road when some man came out of the bushes and shoved me off my bike. And it all happened so fast, but like when I think about it, it was like slow motion, because I don't know, I remembered it, and I remember as soon as I got hit, I was like, oh my god, like I felt like while I was going down, I was like, I'm gonna die. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna take me to a secondary location, which my mother said never to go to. I hit the ground on the grass, so I didn't get hurt or whatever. And my bag falls over, my Welch's are everywhere, my trail mix, and my knife. And then all I could think of in that moment, I like looked up and then I just started scrambling to find that little pocket knife that I got, and I could not find it. And then when I went to go turn around, this guy had already picked up my bike and was getting on it to go away. And I was like, frozen. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know, like, take the bike. Like, I did not give a shit about my dad's bike in that moment. It was a spot where other bad things could have happened, and I mean, I don't know who was looking out for me in that moment, but I was just so thankful, and like, so everything hit me at once. Like, I was like, you're idiot, like what are you doing? And rode off with the bike, and I was terrified that he was going to come back. And he didn't take my purse or anything, probably because there was only Welch's and trail mix in it, probably. But I was just like, okay, I gathered all my stuff, and I have never ran so fast in my entire life over to my friend's house, which had been not too far away, maybe like a couple blocks away at that point. So I ran there. I texted him, and his mom was there, and I was like, please don't tell my parents, like this happened, and I just need somewhere to stay. Like I don't want to face my parents, and my dad's bike got stolen and all this. And she's like, oh my gosh, like that's awful. And then she let me stay for a while. I don't remember how long I was there for, like well into the night. So at this point it's probably like 6 or 7 hours or whatever. And I was just feeling so stupid. I was like, I wasn't feeling bad for myself at all. I was just like thinking about how stupid I was and how I had to face my parents after that. And then my dad was out searching for me like the whole time, and I didn't even realize that. And then I told my friend's mom that I was like, I need to tell my parents, like they were getting so worried on my text. I'm like, I need to tell my parents. I need like to go out like away from the house so they don't know I was here or whatever. But she actually came with me. The mom came with me. And then my dad pulled up in his truck, and he was just like beside himself, but less like angry and more just worried, which I'm very thankful for looking back at it, because that's what I was really afraid. I was like, my parents being really angry with me, and obviously getting like grounded for the rest of my life, because I spent my teenage years grounded a lot because I was a little shit, if we haven't already seen. He said like, where's my bike? Because he knew I took his bike because it was gone from the garage. And then I told him the whole like story about me getting mugged or like whatever that was, like attacked and the bike stolen. And then I didn't like he was so scared and beside himself that I didn't really get in trouble. So like low key, I look back and I was like, that guy probably saved me from getting grounded. I try to look at it in a good way, and I was not thinking about what could have happened and what I should have done, or I was just really in my feelings. And as a kid, that's like really hard. It's like especially when you feel like you don't have an outlet, which at the time I didn't feel like I did have, which I totally could have talked to my parents and it probably would have been fine. But I don't know, it just kind of reiterates like how you need to find somebody to talk to, you know, whether you're a kid or whether you're an adult or whatever. Even in my adulthood, in my young adulthood, I've made some really stupid decisions based off of really dark feelings and feeling like I don't have an outlet. So I don't know, this was kind of like a fun story, but also a little cautionary tale and a little deep dive into who I was as a menacing child. I like to think that I'm a lot better now, but I've learned a lot from my experiences. And I have so many other crazy stories like that. And even some that are, well, yeah, I almost got kidnapped one time too. That's a whole other story. So let me know if you want to hear that one. In the Philippines, I almost got kidnapped to the Philippines. I would love to also hear some of your guys' crazy like childhood or young adult stories down in the comments below. I would love to read some. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the story. Let me know your stories down in the comments below, and I will see you beautiful face in the next video. All right, bye.